And another extraordinary American is Brian McGee. He is our Vice President and General Manager, newly appointed in the position. He joins us now in the studio. Good morning. Thanks for being here.
Good morning, Kristine, and thank you for having me here.
So you are not only new to Cox Media Group, but you are new to the community.
Yes.
So tell us a little bit about your background, where you're coming from.
So I've been in the media profession, I guess you'd call it, for over 15 years. Interesting story. I started out doing on-air work right out of college in the Chicago area where I grew up.
You were a board op too, right?
I was a board op. I started doing that. Worked overnight shift on a hot AC station. That means nothing to the listeners, but that's the...
You can say the name.
Okay.
I think everybody knows the name.
Okay. And that was Hot 102.3. That was our station.
But who was the host?
It was Rick Dees was the host of the show. So
Good old Rick Dees.
Yeah. And eventually got out of radio and spent years doing sales, loved sales, and then heard a commercial on the air one day. And my favorite radio station was looking for a salesperson. I thought, I can do that. I'm doing sales right now. So I've been in this business now for the second time for about 15 years and have been in Nashville, St. Louis, Chicago, D.C., and now home in Jacksonville.
So the rumors that you had anything to do with the reflecting pool and you moved down here to assuage those, no credibility to that?
Those are not true.
Okay, good. So you have come from D.C. What is the situation like in D.C.?
The most interesting place I've ever lived. People there the locals are very passionate about their community, and I love that. There's just such a large transient population that turns over, as you probably know, every 2 years and definitely every 4 years. So many people moving in and out from different places. So you have a lot of migration in that area. And it's a very international community, which took some getting used to. So much good food to enjoy from different places. Just the range of restaurants and fare that you can get, there in the D.C. area. So I'll miss some of that. But there's a lot I won't miss about D.C., and I'm sure you understand that.
I do indeed. Chicago, also part of your background. Do you miss part of Chicago?
Oh, Chicago's still my favorite city for about 3 months of the year.
We won't mention the sports thing. It's just between us, but your teams are.
Yeah, my teams are the Chicago Bears.
It's just between us. It's okay.
Not doing so well right now, but the Cubs did get the monkey off of their back in 2016, so at least nobody can make fun of the baseball team anymore.
And you are going to be a Jaguars fan, I'm sure, unless they're playing.
I'm already brushing up on my AFC Jacksonville, the roster. Interestingly enough, I do have a friend who has a close connection. His son plays for the Jaguars, so
it was fate for you to come here.
Fate. It was meant to be.
Does he want you to, would he be okay with you telling us who he is?
I'm sure he wouldn't mind. B.J. Green.
So we're going to root for B.J. Green.
I wish I knew his jersey number. I could tell you.
Chase Bunker will look it up. Yeah.
He's on it.
He'll look it up while we're saying. And what an exciting time to move to Jacksonville. We are definitely seeing a transition. More and more people are coming here from places in the Northeast and elsewhere throughout the country. We have a new stadium underway.
Exciting.
It is an exciting time for you to be here.
Yes, and I see why people would move here. I mean, I've been here just over a week, and I can tell you it's a phenomenal place to live. The community is amazing. I've had a really warm welcome. And I'm not just talking about the weather. Just a really warm welcome from everybody. I have been calling, and I won't say home, but I've been calling my family back that are still in D.C. yet to move here, and just saying people are so nice here. This is amazing. I went to drop off my dry cleaning and had like a 5-minute conversation, and it just doesn't happen, in D.C.
We have a lot of people from the Northeast here, but it does have kind of that Southern charm.
It does.
Without being an Alabama or an Arkansas. You know what I'm saying? It does have a lot of charm.
It does. It does. Like I said, this already feels like home, and I'm hoping to be here for a very long time.
So tell us about home a little bit for those, and only what you're willing to share with the community. Tell us a little bit about your home. You do have children.
Yes, I do. So my wife and I have been foster parents for years, and through the course of that have adopted 6 children. In addition to the 3 that she already had when we met. So big family, and most of those children are out on their own, but still a couple of those will be making their way to Jacksonville with us in about a week. And it's been so rewarding. If you're a foster parent, or if you know anyone who's a foster parent, it's such a rewarding thing to do. And, sometimes I think I get more out of it than they do. But, being an adoptive parent, I think one of our colleagues is also...
Indeed, Rich Jones. And he's talked about it on the air.
Right, so we've shared some similar experiences, so I feel like we're part of the same fraternity. But yeah, a big family, and now as we become closer to being empty nesters, it just feels odd and strange.
It's hard.
I'm trying to look forward to it, but...
It's hard.
Yes, there's a lot of laughter and love that's going to be missed in the house.
I have never been one of those parents who have said, oh my gosh, I can't wait until they get out of the house. I very much feel when they're not in the house.
Yeah, you don't want to wish those years away.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Chase Bunker is going to be a first-time father very soon in the next couple of days. Any words of advice for him?
Oh, enjoy it. It goes fast.
He's nervous, Brian.
I already want him to move out. I want him to move out on my wife, and I want him to move out of my house now. So clearly we have different aspects in terms of parenting.
I understand that, but I will tell you the memories that you create. And sometimes you don't, as my children get older, I start to realize things that made a huge impact on them that maybe weren't a big deal to me, but the things that they remember. It's so interesting to talk to kids when they're 17, 18, 20, the things that they remember about their childhood. And
good and bad.
Yeah, good and bad, right. And I always say this, like the trick to pleasing your children is do something. If you do something 3 times, that's the magic number. Like if you take your kids to Disney World 3 times, when they grow up, they'll say, oh, we always went to Disney World. We did it every year. So 3 times is the magic number. You only have to do it 3 times, and their kid memories will fill in the gaps.
What's one thing I think is crazy just about like the different philosophies I've heard in parenting, and just like all the different advice that I've received throughout like the months leading up to the process. And it's just like I know that there's a lot of craziness when it comes to parenting, especially there's a lot of stress when it comes to parenting. And I'm good at, taking stress. I'm riddled with anxiety. But like the whole thing is just like, they always say no matter what, no matter how difficult it is always one of the greatest things ever. And I just think
Absolutely.
That's crazy.
It's true. I can't think of a job that no matter what you do, you're probably doing it right. There's no playbook. It doesn't look the same for everyone, and I mean, you're learning on the job.
It doesn't get any easier ever.
It doesn't get easier. Different challenges when your kids are older. They're still challenges, but they are different. And again, put your heart into it, and there's no way you can. Well, there's I guess ways you can do it wrong, but from what I know of you, you won't do that. So
I hope not. Like my thing is like the crazier thing is I think I can count the number of times on my hand of how many times I've held a baby, and I think it's only twice. And now I have to hold one baby for like 3 years. Like I'm always afraid, like no, I'm going to break your child. I don't want to do it. And now it's like I have to now.
3 years, more like 18.
Maybe. I certainly hope I don't have to carry him after 18 years.
The ones who are playing GTA, as we talked about earlier, maybe a little bit longer than 18 even.
That is very fair.
Right. Brian, one of the things that I know that you have talked about is the importance of mentorship.
Absolutely.
What does that mean to you?
I was fortunate to have a really good mentor who is still, I spoke to him 2 days ago, and he's been my mentor for 10 plus years. And, just someone who, I don't want to say saw something in me, but, knew that I had an interest in doing more and progressing in my career. And, I've worked for so many people who were so busy doing their job that they didn't take the time to show me what they were doing. And I had one who would pull me aside if he ever saw me and said, I'm going to show you what I'm doing. I'm going to show you this report. And that mentorship just meant so much to me, and that we still talk on a maybe a bi-weekly basis. Even though he's moved on to do other things and I've moved on to do other things, we've still kept that relationship. But He's always told me, Brian, make sure you have someone that you're bringing along, because that's the only way this works is if you pay it forward. So, yeah, I think it's huge to have a mentor and to be a mentor.
I'm a huge proponent of the belief that a rising tide raises all ships.
Absolutely.
And that only helps. I think I almost got fired when I was in my 20s because I was a very young EP at a New York station, and I wanted to do everything and know everything and be the only one who knew everything. And that was counterproductive to everything.
Very. And you just hit it right on the head, counterproductive. So it doesn't help the organization, and it really ultimately doesn't help you. I mean, I think we get better as we share what we've learned and bring a mentee along. It's something I still do for the NAB, the National Association of Broadcasters. I participate in their mentorship program. So I had a person who, she just graduated college a few weeks ago, but I mentored her through an official mentoring program for about 9 months and got to know her really well. And I'm so rooting for her, as she makes her mark in this business. Just feels really good to know that somebody is eager to learn and maybe sees something in you that they aspire to. It's such a great feeling.
You did mention the business of broadcasting. So there are unique challenges that the business of broadcasting faces now that maybe we didn't face 15 years ago.
Challenges?
Just a few.
Just a few. Legacy media challenges. So we call ourselves legacy media, TV, radio. And it seems every few years there's a rival technology or a rival medium that is going to mark the end of TV or the end of radio. And, we've survived so many of these.
You and I are of the same ilk where we, grew up in this business splicing tape.
Yep.
And we've learned a lot in
a whole lot.
years.
And technology has definitely helped this industry, helps us reach people. Social media is a tool, not an enemy. But I think we need to be, adaptive. I think we need to understand that, with every challenge comes opportunity.
Is there a place for social media in the mainstream media landscape?
I believe it has a place. Anything that our listeners and audience spend time with is real. And I think we have to acknowledge that. But it's also opportunity for us to touch them maybe in a different way.
One of the other things that you have said, I kind of stalked your LinkedIn profile and your social media profiles and other things and talked to some other folks. One of the things that you say, weekends are for learning.
Weekends are. Yes. I love spending my weekend learning something. I've lately been taking AI classes. I found a really good program where I can learn how to use AI properly. There are ways you can misuse it. There's ways I think that we maybe use it incorrectly a lot, but just being more comfortable using the tools that are more and more becoming a part of our business. I'm also learning Spanish. I am a year and a half of self-pacing, but using an app, and I don't know that I need to say the name of the app. Very popular
Only if you're
app.
endorsing it.
Right. And they are not a sponsor of the show, I don't believe. So, but using an app and learning Spanish, been doing that for almost 2 years, year and a half, 2 years. So I'm just obsessed with learning as much as I can and trying to grow. And I love using the weekend to do that. I think it keeps me engaged, because our Monday through Friday can be very routine and, I don't want to say monotonous, but you can get into a routine and get really comfortable just doing what you do. And I think the weekend is an opportunity to sort of push yourself to learn something new.
Brian McGee is my guest. He is the Vice President and General Manager, newly appointed here at Cox Media Group Radio at Jacksonville. Our former GM has gone to Miami, Jimmy Farrell, and we want to thank him so much for all of his work here. I'm a little scared to mention your name because we do get quite the bit of mail, and so now it will probably be directed towards you, so good luck with that.
I'm assuming this is fan mail, right?
Oh, would it be anything but. I also saw that at a previous place you had an office dog.
Yes, we did.
So I'm assuming that means you're dog friendly.
I'm super dog friendly. I have a 4-pound security system.
4 pounds?
4 pounds. And his name is Bruce Wayne. He has these giant ears, and when we got him, I wanted to name him Batman, and the wife vetoed that name, but we settled on Bruce Wayne, and Bruce is looking forward to being here in Jacksonville in a week. So,
well, we have as our WOKV mascot, who hasn't made many appearances because he's turned out to be quite the chicken dog, but he is Baron Padfoot von Nosewise Bellino.
I've not met Baron.
No,
yet.
but you will probably now that I know that you're okay with bringing dogs to the office.
Okay with it.
So Chase is just shaking his head.
Well, because you don't bring Baron into the office, but I'm also now looking forward to this tiny little dog coming in because unfortunately I have a cat and the cat hates me.
Cats, I'll tell you a secret. Cats hate everyone. So you're not.
She doesn't hate my wife.
No?
Nope, she loves my wife.
Well,
when she wants to play, she's like, oh, yeah, I'll play. And then she'll go and chase mice. I was like, oh, hey, cool. You want to chase this mice? And then nothing. Just stares at me like, what are you doing? Why are you even trying?
Cats pick their person, typically. We have one that has picked me. Hasn't seen me in a little over a week, so I'm expecting her. As soon as I see her, she'll jump up on my shoulder, and she has this thing she likes to lick my head.
Must be nice.
It's strange, but it's her thing. So
we are looking forward to meeting Bruce Wayne in studio, and we hope that the first time you bring him into the building, him, Bruce Wayne, bring him into the building, that you bring him here on In Depth so we can have the In Depth exclusive.
Absolutely.
Brian McGee, anything that you want to tell the community before we let you go?
I love the Jacksonville community. I can't wait to get out and start meeting some of you. I've already met so many, and I'm looking forward to doing I want to be a big part of this community, and again, want to make this a home for many, many years. So everyone has been so welcoming so far. I'm just really impressed with Jacksonville already.
Community participation is extremely important to this station, so and this cluster of stations. So we look forward to that. Brian McGee, thanks so much for
Thank you for having me.
risking it to come on In Depth this morning.